Alright, in this video we're going to continue working with the Nerd Camp that we set up in the previous video. In this Nerd Camp, we have already set up the details on the Details tab, talking about just what's going on with the camp, when it starts and ends. We didn't do any meals, we talked about that though. What group the event's in, some of the custom boxes that we filled out as well. In this video we're going to continue on and we're going to go over the Registration Details tab. Now this Registration Details tab defines two things. It defines what's going to be prompted to you when you decide to add a camper later, and it's also going to define what's going to be prompted to people who sign up online. They're going to get the same prompts that you would get. It'll look a little different to them, but they'll get the same prompts asking what upgrades they want and what lodging options they want and that sort of thing. If you don't want to allow online registration, then this could be skipped. But I think that you'll find filling this out will actually save you work later when you go to register people for camp. So I highly suggest you at least consider using this form before you sign people up for camp. Otherwise you're going to end up doing some duplicitous work where you're going to be creating the same fee for every single camper that comes in, that signs up for camp, when really you could just create an auto fee that does that job for you. Another thing that I'll say before we get started, if you're going to do online registration, you need to have defined in your setup area, you need to have defined an electronic payment processor. And if you would like to do that, you'll need to see the video on the electronic payment processor that I should be posting very soon. Okay, so let's start off here in the auto fees area. Each of these grids, by the way, can be resized to make them taller if you need to see more of them, for instance right here. And as long as you don't erase your cookies, you're going to be able to see, you're going to be able to save the size of those grids so that next time you open the registration details page of any event, they'll still be this size. So keep that in mind. So on auto fees, generally for auto fees, most events, you're going to have two auto fees. You're going to have one auto fee that is a required payment when they sign up for camp, and one auto fee that is like the remainder of the cost that they can pay just before they arrive to camp. They don't have to pay when they sign up. Some camps you're not going to have it set up that way depending on what type of camp it is, but let's go ahead and set it up as if this is an event where they need to pay me $50 to sign up. So I have a budget. I just called it the test budget. In your setup area, you can define as many budgets as you would like. This may be, a summer camp budget or some such. I just called it test. The amount is $50, so I'm saying that this is the amount of the fee that will automatically be applied to each camper who signs up. And the description here is just going to be registration cost, or registration fee, or whatever you want to call that. I'm going to say that this is a non-refundable amount and that I require immediate payment, meaning when they sign up, they immediately have to pay. And your fee can be either per individual or per group. We haven't talked about groups yet, but we will soon when we sign up campers. For most events that you do, the fee is going to be per individual. So each individual that signs up for camp is going to get this $50 non-refundable fee that they must pay immediately. I'm going to click submit, and it shows up right there. If I need to edit that later or change it, I can click on it and hit details, or I can click the X to delete it. But I need to add another fee in here, and that's going to be the remainder of the camp cost, and maybe the remainder of it's $129, and the description here is going to be camp cost remainder. You may find another description you want to put in here, but it basically just describes what the fee is, that they have a $50 fee to sign up, and $129 would round out the rest of their fee. This is refundable, and they can pay it any time before they sign up, but the fee is per individual. Now whenever someone is added to camp, whether it's via the customer portal online or via me signing them up here in the management portal, they're going to get these two fees, $50 and $129, automatically applied to them. And you can already see how that's going to save you time later because you won't have to manually add those fees. Online registration settings here. If you want to make this available online, you need to check the Allow Online Registration button. Start Promo gives the date at which it'll start showing up online so they can see that the camp will be available for registration soon. Start registration is the date that they can actually begin signing up, and end registration is the last date that they can sign up online. If you put this a few days before camp, then that'll give you a few days where they have to actually call you to sign up for camp. And of course, that's a process on your end that you decide when you want to start and end those registrations. Require code to register would be used for an event that's maybe limited to one organization that's coming all on their own. You would put a registration code in here. You just click new code actually, and it'll generate the code for you. And then they will be required to type in that code in order to register for this event. That basically keeps it from being public. Promo URL, if you have a page on your own website where you have already set up maybe promotions for this event, you can type this in, and when they go to sign up online, they're going to have a link that would take them to this promo URL. For these forms, these are pre-arrival forms that we will talk about in a future video, but this defines basically information like the people who are allowed to pick this camper up at the end of camp, so parents' names. It defines things like who their insurance provider is, what they're allergic to, things like that. And you will be able to define in the setup area when a minor signs up for this camp what should be prompted for, and when an adult signs up for this camp what should be prompted for. And that allows them to fill out that information right online, so you have that directly in your database. Over here, the published cost is just the cost that's going to show up to them before they try to sign up for camp. So in this case, I would probably put $179 in here. Of course, that's just the default cost of camp. If I add some upgrades that cost money, then the cost of camp may be different from that. But this is the cost that they're going to see before they try to sign up for camp. These max numbers are the numbers that you would enter if you want to allow online registration. You're going to put these max numbers in here to make sure that you don't go over your number of beds that you have available for signing up. So if all you care about is how many sign up that are male and female, then you can just put in the male attenders and the female attenders numbers. Maybe you could say that I'll allow 15 female and 15 male because that's all I have beds for. You can do that. On top of that, if you also want to allow sponsors to sign up online and counselors to sign up online, you can also put in numbers for those. And what this will do is it will limit how many people are able to sign up online, so that once it's full, no more of that particular category can sign up online. Strictly enforced max numbers is going to help to keep to these numbers. Here's the way it works. Online, when they go to sign up, when they choose the event, they say, oh, I want to sign up for Nerd Camp. It's going to do a check to see, oh, how many people are available in the male category and the female category. And then when they say, I'm going to sign up 3 guys for this camp, it's going to check and it's going to know, okay, well, there were 3 guys available. That's fine. You can do that. If you check strictly enforced max numbers, what it will do is right when they click the pay button, it will do another check to verify that there are still 3 spots available. It's just a more specific way to make sure you don't go over this number. If you're not too concerned about that, there's no reason to check that box. There's always other options if you go over by 1 or 2, because most camps generally have a way to facilitate an extra person or 2. Or of course you can always refund money. I find it difficult when somebody signs up and then they get to the end and they find out, oh no, there's not enough space left anymore. I would almost prefer to put them in the camp and then just to try to find some way to get them there as opposed to blocking them out. So in most cases I would say don't check this, but if you're really stuck on I can't go over that number, go ahead and check that box and that'll help you out. Reminder 1 and Reminder 2 are not working quite yet. Eventually you'll be able to put a date in here and it will send out a reminder on that date to every camper who signed up, and then the same thing for Reminder 2, and you'll be able to define what that reminder should look like, what the text of the email should be when it goes out. Best guess and projected numbers are for your own reports. Best guess would say, hey, I really think that we're going to have 27 people show up for this event. And when your kitchen orders food a week or 2 out, they can use this number instead of the actual signed up number if you think that this is going to be more accurate. You don't have to use it, but it's an option. Projected campers would usually be filled out when you add the event right away. so that you have a guess for next year how many campers I believe are going to come next